Hey, welcome to 23 of Figuring It Out with me, Kelly Renee. So happy you stopped by. Was watching a movie recently and I found a quote in there by the main character. The quote was, "Happiness is only real when shared." Now, I'm not going to tell you the story. Christopher McCandless. Um, Actually, there's a movie and a book. Christopher's story was brought to the big screen in 2007. The movie again is Into the Wild. It was written and co-produced and directed by Sean Penn, and that was adapted from a 1996 book of the same name. They're both worth checking out. The truth of Christopher's quote was the epiphany of his journey. Yet that rings true for each of us as we journey through life as well. I see so many people rot with isolation, especially these past 2 years as we try to navigate COVID and all the havoc that it's wreaked on us as a society. So many live in fear, too afraid to venture far from their home. And the reality of the risk of getting COVID is as real today as it was 2 years ago. I'm not about to debate the science of COVID and vaccines and all of that in this context. Rather, what I really want to talk about is the isolation and the impact it has on our lives. That's why community and connection are so important. We need each other to share joy and happiness with, right alongside the struggles we face individually and corporately. So many people we encounter are living in fear every single day. And that hasn't been any less true for the LGBTQIA community either. It's not fear of COVID, it's fear of being unworthy or fear of what others think of us or fear of the unknown in general. Maybe it's fear of taking a stand on an issue or talking about our faith. We don't do that a lot. So many times, our not clearly stating what we think or believe is related to what others think of us. That's why we don't say it or demonstrate it. It's easy to say that what other people think of us doesn't or shouldn't matter, but let's be real, it does matter. That fear of standing out is very real, and yet, when we have a growth mindset, the risks we take are absolutely necessary and part of the process of change. Last week, we returned from our latest house hunting excursion to Cleveland, Ohio, where, of course, we encountered freezing temperatures, snow, and rain. Not a lot different from Middle Tennessee. Traveling offers a certain level of excitement, and at the same time, it's challenging. I often say life is 50-50. Half the time it's great, and the other half of the time there's challenges to overcome that just aren't all that much fun. House hunting is kind of like that. Looking at homes, imagining the possibilities, and picturing ourselves in a new space is exhilarating and ripe with possibilities and frustrating at the same time. And we made offers on several properties, and in the end, we found agreement on one, and we're moving forward on it. Hopefully, it'll all come together. Now comes the inspections and property appraisal and all the other fun stuff. Time to put my project manager hat back on and get to work through all the details. You know, new home, new city, new state, new car insurance, home, business, water, electric, trash, TV, and internet. Oh my, the list just seems to go on endlessly. Oh, and then Patty reminded me we still have a lot of packing to do here too. Oh. Once we get there, we'll need new doctors, new pharmacy, dentist, eye care, new titles for the cars, registration, driver's licenses, new vet for the dogs. I'm getting tired just thinking about it. And life is like that in so many respects. We start setting expectations and try to manage those expectations and coming to grips with the reality of the circumstances we're in. But you know, when Patty said she could see us in that home and we began to share the vision of what could be, that was exciting. This is where managing expectations comes to play. We didn't want a home that would require a lot of work. We did a lot of work in our current home. We added a fence in the backyard to keep the dogs in, replaced all the appliances, new hot water heater, HVAC system, updated one of the baths with new shower and tile and toilet and vanity and mirror, and added a shed with a concrete slab, installed hardwood floors, painted the entire inside of the home, added recessed accent lighting, and the list goes on. It was worth it. But to do all that again? I don't know. Well, the house Patty and I liked had and made a deal on as a flip. So they updated the kitchen, both baths, new carpet, new flooring, completely repainted. We were really excited to see it. Now it's our turn to make it our own. And yes, we already have a list of things in mind. Oh, the trouble with watching so many reno shows on HGTV is you get used to seeing all the possibilities. And of course, we want them all for our home too. We'll get there. We've done it before. And it takes time. It takes effort. It takes some figuring out. There have been disappointments along the way too. Little things like traffic jams that delayed our journey both ways, coming and going to Cleveland. Offers not being accepted, frustration over inspection results, homes that didn't look nearly as interesting in real life as they did online, houses going off the market before we even got to see them, homes that couldn't be shown because someone in the household contracted COVID and everyone was under quarantine. It's part of the process though, right? Part of adapting and continuing to move forward. You see, when we want something different, we can expect some inconveniences along the way. It's almost like the struggle we go through is commensurate to the reward of finally achieving that goal. On a side note, though, one of the most interesting homes we saw had a safe built into the wall of the main bedroom closet. That home had a ton of character. Yeah, but it wasn't for us. I got to tell you, there have been so many ups and downs on this journey. When we decided to move in Cleveland, we envisioned a pretty easy process. Find a realtor, look at homes online, plan a trip, visit the best ones, make an offer. Pretty simple process. Little did we know, there were a few details we hadn't realized would impact timing as much as they have. Our realtor suggested a mortgage broker to help with financing. Trickier for us because I'm no longer a W-2 employee. Being self-employed added a new level of complexity to things like access to credit for major purchases. There was a solution available, and it took some time and patience to get into place. But that created an almost 60-day delay, one we hadn't expected nor planned for. We envisioned being in Ohio with the kids and grandkids for Christmas. That didn't happen. We went through a few dark days where we honestly wondered if this process would ever end, even to the point of questioning our decision to move in the first place. It would have been so much easier just to stay in Tennessee and not have to deal with all this added drama. And that would have been fine, but for the fact we wouldn't be any closer to the kids and grandkids. And by November 15th, we'd already closed on the sale of our home. There was no turning back at that point. And there is a point to where I'm going with this. First is, and I think we all recognize it, change is hard. It requires a level of flexibility and commitment we may not necessarily be prepared for. Had we known the full price of this move and time and frustration, would we have still done it? I don't know. How many times have you begun something great only to find that there were a lot more obstacles than you anticipated? How did that work out for you? Were you able to get through it all to the end? Did you give up in the process? Was it worth it? We've been really fortunate because we have a great team in our real estate and mortgage broker. They've worked together before and each brings an impressive level of expertise to the table. Sure, they're going to benefit financially from our relationship, but at the same time, the process is easier because of them. Their understanding, commitment to service, and doing what's best for their clients is a combination that can't be beat. See, I want to point out it's the community we build around us that makes all the difference. It's the relationships we foster and how we treat people in the midst of the discomfort that matters. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are they people of integrity and passion? Are they people who embrace change and look for solutions to issues and problems? Or are they people who play the victim and don't take personal responsibility for what goes on in their lives? Yeah, bad things happen to good people every damn day, and it sucks. But we don't have to stay there. When we take the next step, and the next step, and the next step, it gets better. It gets easier. As a life coach, I'm thrilled to help people take those steps, not to settle for the status quo and take on the impossible. Oprah Winfrey once said, coaching helps you stop crazy mind chatter in your head that tells you all the time that you're not good enough. And I can't guarantee you success, but again, I can guarantee you'll be better off for trying. I have witnessed positive change and meaningful transformation too many times to doubt it. We don't have a moving day yet, so I can't tell you what next month is going to look like for us. Stay tuned though, and I'll do my best to keep you all current on the progress. In the meantime, what is it you want to see different in your life? Let me leave you with this thought again. Happiness is only real when shared. Please like, subscribe, and comment on this video. It'll mean a lot to me and the community at large. Until next time, life's too short. Be kind, do good. Talk soon.